On this edition of Inside the Marlins, we visit the top 3 levels of the Marlins minor league system to see how the players live and work.
Some days you're not going to want to go out there. Some days you're not feeling your best, but you still go out there and you execute your job and you take care of your plan that you have every day.
There's definitely dues to be paid, to make it to the ultimate level, and that's the major league level. And I couldn't be happier with. I think I have the best job in the world.
With some 200 players in the development system, each is working to separate themselves from the pack and become a prospect to reach the big leagues.
For me, I just want to go out there and prove, every day that I'm grateful for them even taking me, and then, just proving a good player.
It's their life, it's their livelihood, what they do for a living, so they have to be accountable. They have to learn to grow up.
Minor leaguers range from young players in the infancy of their pro careers to veterans trying to keep their careers going, and in some cases get back to the majors.
Anytime a person goes up to the big leagues, that they're fulfilling their dream. And just because it's not you just means it's not your time.
That's all next on Inside the Marlins. Hello and welcome to Inside the Marlins. I'm Frank Fort from Roger Dean Stadium, the spring training site for the Miami Marlins and home of their Class A team in the Florida State League, the Jupiter Hammerheads. Life in the minor leagues is primarily about development and trying to reach the big league level, but it is a journey. The lifestyle's not for everyone. Whereas baseball was just a game for these guys in college or high school, it is now a job, a fun job, but a job nonetheless. In professional baseball, results count, both from a team and an individual standpoint. While it's still a kid's game, it's now a paying career.
You have to go about it with an air of professionalism. You got to go out there and treat it like it's your job. You can't, you wouldn't be late to your job. You wouldn't, talk to your boss a certain way. You wouldn't, so you got to treat it like a job, I guess.
Be responsible. Watch after yourself. Be intelligent off the field. Living on your own, it's kind of a wake-up call. This is life. You're an adult now.
Players on the Jupiter Hammerheads can live in a nice area close to the ballpark and walk to work.
We live right there in Abaco. It's perfect, right around the corner. I can walk to the field every day, and it's great atmosphere, great place to live here in Jupiter. It's a daily routine right here. It's a cheap way to go too. It's minor league baseball. That's how you got to do it. Get a little ham, turkey, and roast beef from Winn-Dixie. So you're set for a week. Week solid.
For those coming out of big-time college baseball programs, life in the minors is sometimes about a huge lifestyle change.
Yeah, Arizona State has state-of-the-art stuff. Sometimes you don't got that in the minor leagues, but you find your way and you adjust.
You got to pay rent. You got to do all these different things because at LSU you don't make money. Here you get to make money. You got to learn how to budget your money and spend your check very wisely.
I would definitely say the travel. I started up in the Midwest League for the Lansing Lugnuts, and going on 10 to 14-hour bus rides, every other week, and traveling throughout the nights definitely takes a toll on your body and stuff like that.
What was the hardest thing for you to understand or to learn about this lifestyle coming straight from high school?
That it was an everyday grind. In high school you pitch, twice a week and you don't have to throw, for 2 days until your next start. With pro ball, you're throwing, you're long tossing, doing whatever your routine is the day after you start, and you're throwing 7 days a week, every day, no matter what.
Hit the first guy. Here we go. Run first.
There's some noticeable differences, I think, of what a college kid has been through versus what a high school kid is thrown into in the professional environment.
Boy, Getsy. Perfect. Hey, baby.
At AA ball in Jacksonville, the travel in the Southern League is tougher, and the game becomes harder.
Minor league life is kind of a grind. You don't really know what's coming next. There's all kinds of things that kind of happen.
Marisnik, who came to the Marlins in a trade with Toronto, shares an apartment and a Batman-themed bathroom with catcher JT Realmuto and 2010 #1 draft pick Christian Yelich, who could afford to live alone but prefers this arrangement instead.
I just live with teammates just because it's better than living on your own, the way I see it. But I'm living with Jake and JT, so and we get along just fine, and I'd rather do that than live by myself.
Kitchen duties in this household do not involve much teamwork.
Big Fudge or Jake thinks he's a good cook, but he's not. And he's always in there making breakfast every morning.
We all kind of do our own thing. We all do a little bit. I don't think I've seen Yelich touch any kind of cooking stuff, so I don't think he cooks very well.
An in-season arrival to the apartment was Marisnik's dog, Little Fudge, after Jake's nickname of Big Fudge.
My parents actually brought her out from California a couple weeks back, and she's been good. She's learning quick. Kind of the whole potty training thing's been fun, and being a puppy, she's been sleeping in her. We're kind of crate training her right now, and she sleeps in my room, so that's not fun. She wakes me up every now and then, just wanting to go to the bathroom or whatnot, so I got to get up and take her out.
On the field, with the big leagues just a call away, a certain level of maturity is expected.
They can manage themselves for the most part as far as the clubhouse goes. Usually the older players kind of put everybody in line, and if I have to step in and help guide somebody to the line, and sometimes we have to do that, but most of the time, hey boys, go get them. You know, it's their careers, it's their numbers, it's their life, it's their livelihood, what they do for a living, so they have to be accountable. They have to learn to grow up, and this is a level, I think, where you really have to start doing that.
Now that I've been in it for 2 years, it's hard to say what I thought it was going to be 2 years ago, but I think I've adjusted well to it. I still have a lot to learn, and I'm really excited about my career, but I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so there's positives and negatives to every job, but I really think I got the best one in the world.
Still to come, some players on the rise at Single-A Jupiter.
If the Marlins have more money invested in a guy, he's going to get more opportunities, and we don't hide that.
But up next, a visit to the Big Easy AAA ball in New Orleans. That's next on Inside the Marlins.
Sometimes legends can be found in the most unexpected places. What brings Davey Johnson and Frank Viola to Sanford, Florida? Baseball, of course.
Well, number one, I love baseball. And number two, it's real close to my home. And I'm kind of tired of getting on those jets and traveling year round. And so this is, it enables me to stay home and see good guys play baseball.
I think the reason why I enjoy what I'm doing, especially with the pitchers, is the mental part of the game. You know, baseball is it can be so boring at times. It could be so tedious to the brain. And I think if you could teach them the mental part of the game, let them know, hey, this is what's going to happen. You know, you have to be ready for this, so on and so forth. If you could give them a little knowledge as far as that goes, I think it goes a long way for the rest of their future.
These players are good, too. In 2010 alone, 25 FCSL players were drafted by major league teams, including five-tool talent Jabari Blash.
My goal is still probably the same goal as any baseball player that has aspirations to play in the bigs, is to perfect and to be the best or one of the best to play the game. And coming to Sanford and learning from Davey and taking bits of picking his brain, you know, that can help you out a lot, and he have helped me out a lot in the past and right now.
The Florida Collegiate Summer League gives college baseball players the chance to play with a wooden bat, get some attention from MLB scouts, and coaching from major league greats.
Well, since I got here, it's been a lot of fun. I've actually known Coach Viola for a long time. It's definitely a person you want to go talk to if you want to make it to that next level. You can talk to him about anything. He's well open about it, and he's not scared to share his opinion.
Playing for Davey doesn't get any better. You know, when you hit, you feel, you throw, he always has a correction or some advice to help you out. And usually once you correct that advice and you take his advice, you know, it works out for the good.
Blash and others are able to make the transition from using aluminum bats on the college stage to wood bats in the FCSL.
I mean, the adjustment was definitely something that you got to overcome because the aluminum is a lot lighter, and you can get away with a lot with aluminum. But with wood, you got to be really precise because it's a lot harder to hit with wood. But when you get that hit with wood, it feels a lot better than aluminum.
You know, wooden bat and metal bat is a big difference. But if you're willing to make the small adjustment that it takes to hit with a wooden bat, then you're going to fit fine. And baseball is always going to be baseball. You're always going to hit a round ball, and you're always going to use a bat.
The Florida Collegiate Summer League isn't just about players and coaches. It's also a great time for fans. If you come to one of these games, you'll get the full baseball experience, including some gourmet cuisine.
The community of Sanford is a small town, but it really supports the team. The families come out. I mean, we'll probably have 100 kids on the field running the bases, probably in the 6th inning. You know, and they all make it around. So, but it's really a family town.
Johnson's Sanford River Rats and Viola's Leesburg Lightning could very well play in the Florida League Championship game. This grand finale will be played at Tropicana Field.
My guys have been talking about it since day one, and that's what they want to do. So we're kind of getting geared up now for kind of setting up pitching up for the playoffs. And guys have played hard all year and really played well. So we're going to be in the top 2. You know, Frank is trying to catch us. He's probably going to finish 3rd, but we want to keep him there.
Some of these kids, it's going to be a pipe dream to play Major League Baseball. So this could be the one time they step foot on the field. And for those who have the ability to go on, it's a little, boost in the butt to get them going and let them know, hey, this is the end of the tunnel for you in the big league. So I think it's a positive all the way around.